Hello everyone, my name is Ben. Welcome to my second video on Python programming language tutorial. So today in this video we are going to add our first app. I know this is what you guys have been waiting for. So we are going to add our first app called homepage, because I like organizing things the way they are supposed to are. Remember that the endpoint is that we are building a dark website. Okay, so we are now adding our first app into our django. Okay, so what we are basically going to be doing today is, first of all, we create the app. Secondly, we add the app into the project. Thirdly, we route the app. Okay, fourthly, we create our template. Inside the template we have a www directory. Inside the www directory we have our index.html. So in our view.py inside our app, we create a function that will allow us to execute the index.html. Isn't this fun? Okay, a lot of this shit chat. Let's just continue. So I'll click here. I have a clean and nice looking terminal. Remember the directory we have been working with, so we change to it, which is python3-tutorial. Remember in our last video I installed 3 applications. One is Python 3 interpreter, the other one is virtual env, and the third one is Apache. Apache is what we're going to be using to host this on my laptop. Everything we're going to be doing here, we're not going to be paying a dime. That is the beauty. If you are learning Linux from me, that is the beauty of it. I will teach you everything to be able to do self-hosting, self-deployment, and everything from scratch. I know there's going to be a lot of configuration, but these things are what I will explain to you guys very well. Alright, so if I do ls here, we have 2 files here. One is manage.py, the other one is db.sqlite3. This db.sqlite3 is created when we run the migrate in our previous video. So this is about the default Django database. Then this pen_env is the virtual environment that give us we created for isolated memory space where we can run our Django project. Then this is the actual project itself. Alright, but there's something I want to teach you guys today, okay, which is a raw practical way to understand what virtual environment does. In the other video I just explained it, but I didn't actually do the raw practical way. Now I told you that virtual environment is an isolated space we created in the same physical memory. Alright, so why is it that we need to create virtual environment isolated space? Is because the people that created Python language, I'm not the one that created this Python language. They say Python have libraries, because Python is built from C language. Okay, so it has default library that is written in that same Python that runs as modules, that runs as daemons. Daemons means something that is running in the background that you can't see, but they are running in the system. Alright, so if for example now I type top, I press enter, you can see there are a lot of things now running here. So these are running live. Okay, so most of these packages, most of them are Python packages. Alright, most of them. So I press Q to quit that. I clear the screen again, ls. So what happened is that those daemons, which are Python packages, they are running in the background. So if you are writing or building or creating a Python web app, you should put it on isolated memory space using virtual env. Alright, the reason why is that if you do not do so, there might be collision. Python is prompt to collision, easy to cause collision, so there might be damage between your programs and that Python daemons that are running in the system, because Linux and Python is default to Linux. That means it's native to Linux. So that's why they urge us to always create a separate memory isolated space. Now when you create this separate memory isolated space using your virtual env, like as I have created the pen_env, which I'm highlighting, you can see is that if you do not activate this and try to create an app here, you are going to see an error, and the error will tell you that are you sure that you are in the actual environment space where the Django is installed, or where you have a web project. So this is to clarify you that you actually created a isolated space using virtual env. So let us see that. Remember, I want to create our first app. So let us create our first app to just check. I'm just doing this to show you guys what virtual env is doing actually. So manage.py here. Okay, then I will type start app. So the app here will be home page. If I press enter, I'm going to see error, because I have not yet activated the virtual env. So that error now will tell us a good description of what is happening. Guy wash, press enter. We are, you see, trace callback So /home/pen python manage.py, it's trying to tell us that there is no django installed here, but I have django already installed in my normal Ubuntu, because this is Ubuntu I'm using. Then you can see above exception has the direct cause of the following exception. Python is sweet. You see how the error prompt is well organized. Then we have another trace callback. Now this is all the code that give us the error. This is about what the error is all about. So we are going to read at the raise alarm here. You can see it, the raise keyword that is calling a function called import error. So the function import error now is telling us that, okay, this is what is happening. You can see it from this place I'm highlighting now. You can see error could not import the Django. Are you sure it's installed first and available on the Python part environment variable? Can you see that? Now, even if you are confused on this one, the last error prompt, which is this one, okay, says, did you forget to activate a virtual environment? Guys, this is very, very awesome, and you can see this tells you what you are missing. Okay, so for this reason, now we know the problem. Now let's fix it by activating that virtual environment. So I clear the screen and I will now do source, which is a way of activating virtual environment. Then the virtual environment directory that was created was pen_env/bin and activate. Now press enter. That has been activated. So we have now jumped into that memory isolated space we created. Okay, you can see it. That is where we are now. So everything we are doing here is not affecting the system, but there's a little mystery here, is that how the operating system is able to execute this. This is the work of the CPU. If you know how the CPU works very, very well, if you have learned the Verilog language, which is a hardware description language, let me tell you what is happening here, guys. When you create an isolated memory space, the computers copy resources that is needed by the Django by default into that memory space so that it can run. The CPU always points to the active executable file. So since we are working in this now, this is where the CPU is pointing and executing everything we are doing. Okay, so I hope this is clear for you guys, but if there's any confusion, you can put it on the comment below. Don't forget to share this video, guys. If you want to learn Python very, very well, you want to master your skills, you can DM me on TikTok. Okay, and also don't forget to watch this video on my YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe. This means or way you encourage me to do more videos. Remember, the end point of this video is dark web. We are building a dark website, so I'm teaching you guys how to do things from scratch. There's gonna be a lot of configurations here, all right, because we are going to be Apache to host it. We are going to take it to the Tor internet, which is a dark website, and everything is going to be running without we paying a dime. Isn't it awesome, guys? We are not going to be paying a dime. This is one benefit about me, is that I don't like paying for stuff. So I like learning. So when I've learned, I do things as free, because I believe in the technology is always free. So that when you modify it, you can now configure it to suit you, where people can pay you to make use of your technology. That's just it. So let's continue. Let's again, now that we have activated our environment, we need to create our app, and everything will now work fine because we are in the isolated memory space where we have the Django project set up. So Python 3 to be precise, always use that so that you get the full functionality of ability of Python 3. Then we'll type our start app space, then it's called home page. Then if I press my enter, and that will just create, no problem. Are you seeing it? So ls, now you can see the home page created. So this is my first app. So before we go into the home page, we are going to first add that home page into our web project. Okay, so I will just change into my web project, press enter, is ls. Here we have a lot of files. If I do 3 here, you're going to see the system structure hierarchy here. Now this is it. This is how it always looks in VS Code, right? Yeah, that's true. So what we are going to do here, if you don't have this 3 command installed, you just type sudo space apt space install 3. If it did not install, that means you have not updated your Linux. It's been long you updated. That means you should just do like this. Go to the beginning of the file and tap another sudo apt update and put space and put double ampersand. So what will happen here is that this first line, okay, from here to the update will run. Then when that is done, it will now continue from the second one, from here to here will now run. So I can now install 3 for you, and that is just it. So I clear the screen once more. So ls again. So now we are going to add the app to our setting.py, but before we add, let me explain what is here. So this URL here .py is what we're going to be using to route our app. WSGI we're going to be using for accessing our Apache, to give Apache access to host this Django program, and I've explained the init and the AWSGI in my first video. So I don't want this video to be long, so I will just start immediately. So we go to the setting.py, press enter. Okay, I for instruction. Okay, these are part-lib that have been installed, that have been imported. Okay, so I will do my best to explain all this for you. Secret key, okay, for the Django. Then we have the debug warning. So this should be set to false when we are doing the read live deployment, so that the Django version we are using will not be shown on the dark web, so that we won't be hacked. Now here we are going to put the actual domain link. Okay, people can visit to access the dark web. Okay, here is where we are installing the application. So I will install our first application. Okay, so I press enter. I'll just put a quick comment here by putting hash. I will say my first app. Okay, my first app. All right, so I press enter. So in my first app is called home page. All right, and we need to put this comma here at the end, okay, so that it can continue. Okay, so all these things you see here are other app that in my first video that we migrate. So admin here is the app, that's why we can visit the admin site. Alt here is also another app. These are app by default to Django when you create your first project, when you create your project. This is the content type app, section app, message app, and static app. You can see all of them are coming from the same route, django.contrib. Okay, so we have added the app. Then the next thing is that I would like to explain all this other stuff here. Middleware is for security, URL route, root underscore URL config, that is how our web project is being routed, and installing other necessary tools. Okay, templates is where we add our template directory. So I'm going to add to the app, because in the app we are going to have our templates, so where we can host write our HTML file. So in here I'm just going to type base underscore uppercase, this base underscore dir will be in uppercase space / then here single quote, we are creating a directory called templates. Okay, then we close that single quote, and that is it. So this is what we'll be adding here. Most people don't do this most time, but I like doing this. It makes the code works proper. Then the next thing here is other things here. This WGI here is for the web, for the Apache application, Apache host that will be hosting our Django. The database here is where we are going to include our database. So I'll be using here PostgreSQL. When we reach in that section, in that series of the videos, we are going to edit this database and add our PostgreSQL. That place is going to be fun. So alt password validation, everything about your password, these are where they are stored. So we have the language code, the time zone. If all these language code and time zone are false, you're going to get an error. So last one here is static, and that is just it about this. So we have successfully add our templates. You can see it here, which is here in this template list. This is a list. Okay, so if you have learned Django, if you have learned Python very well, you know what a list is. The app we have installed is also a list. So we save this, press enter. Okay, so that is it for that. Then the next thing we are going to do now is this urls.py to route to our app. So we open it with vim. Okay, urls.py. Most people like taking off all these comments you see here, but I don't like it. Okay, they helps you a lot to study. So if you read these things, you say URL configure for web project. So this is the URL pattern, that is the name we'll be using in our actual app to route to the view.py. So you can see everything stuff here and stuff here, how it all works. So there's no need of wiping this out. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go low here, and I'm gonna import another class called include. Okay, it has been imported here already, but if it is not here, if it's not there, you add it of this include. All right. Okay, so the next thing here is I put I for insertion key, then I'm gonna add the path to my app. So I'll type part space open bracket single quotes. Most people can just put the app like this. They will say, since my own is home page, we can do something like this, then put forward slash. That means in the web, okay, I need to put home page slash to be able to access the web. But there is no need for that, because the home page is the main place when you visit the site. That is the first thing you see, so there's no need of putting it here. By default, the Django will just route it for us, so we'll just remove that. All right, but in other apps we have to put them. So I put comma and I put space, then I call this include class. This include class here, this one. If it's not in your own URL in your project, please include it. So because you see now I'm making use of it here, so include it, then open bracket, then we say home right page, which is the app. We do .urls, okay, but this is supposed to be in a single quote, okay. So that will be how we route it. Then we close this and close another bracket and put another comma. The reason why we put comma at the end is because if we're adding another part in the future, which we are going to be doing. So I save this, and that is all we need to do here, and that is it. So we are done with the web project. So move one step backward and ls, and we now change to our home page app. So in the home page app, I type tree so I can see the tree. That's it, ls, and we have so many files here. You can see admin. This is where we register our models, okay, to the admin site, so that we can run make migration. This is used by Python, and this is also used, this init underscore init.py used by Python. This is a migration, okay, where everything about the database migrate. If you enter here, you're going to see everything that has been migrated into the db.sqlite tree. Okay, this is the model.py where we create our classes. This is how we test our Python code for vulnerabilities, if someone will be able to hack in or not. And this is a view.py. Okay, so in this view.py, we are going to be routing in there to our actual index.html. So, but before we route, we need to create a directory here called templates, all right, and create a file called urls. So first of all, I will do mkdir, and remember in that setting.py we added a template, right? So that particular name we use there is what I'm going to use. So it's called templates. Remember, I put x, press enter, ls, that directory is now created. You can now see it here. So we need to create a file again called urls. So urls, make sure you put this s.py. That too has been created. ls. So these are the two files we need to create for now. Okay, now urls and templates. So first of all, we need to route first of all to our views. So from this URL we route to these views. So anything that will be living inside these views will be able to be accessed by these URLs, and this is where this URLs is how the project will be able to access everything inside the app. Okay, so I will do vim space urls.py first. Then let me just give a quick comment here. So I for insertion, quick comment here. I will say app, I will say home. Okay, it's in small letter though. Home, this is just a comment, guys. Home route urls.py. So that was it. Okay, so I'm gonna import using the from. What I will do, the django urls space import. What are we importing? Parts. Okay, press enter. We'll do another one from this current directory, which is dot space import, then we say views. Okay, so that is in the views is where we are going to be importing those functions we are using. So the next thing here we type url the pattern here will be double T patterns. This is a list, so put equals to space square bracket, press enter. Then here we'll write our app and single quote. Since this is the home, there's no need of adding the slash home or whatever. Okay, but it will be very, very good that when we are visiting the home page, we're able to like say slash home, we're able to say like slash home slash about, those kind of stuff. All right, so let me just put home here. Okay, put home, yeah, /, then we close that comma. Then here we do views dot home, because the function is going to be home. Then we say comma, and we say name, okay, equals to single quote, and we call it home. All right, and that is it. So we close this and put single quote. The reason why we are putting single quote, if in the future we'll be adding another function into our views.py, we can be able to access them. So press enter and backspace, close that square bracket. And I think that is all for now. We save this. Okay, press enter, ls. So now we are done with these URLs. Okay, so the next thing is to access our view. All right, so I will do vim view. So here we add our new function. Now you can see this has already been added for us here. Okay, so we use the render. If you are using the latest Django as I'm using, the way we have started this project, you should have the latest Django installed. All right, so here we use the def keyword to create a function called home, because this is the function we use in the URL we just finished now. So we pass into it as an argument. We pass an argument called request. How is it spelled? I think this is the right spelling. Yeah, then we'll put colon. The Django uses indentation for its block statement, so take note of that. So we return render, so open bracket, we pass in the request, comma, space, single quote. So here I'll put www / then I'll say index.html. The reason why I like using this www is because that is how Apache is set up. You know, I'm a C guy, I code in C a lot, so we like, you know, following procedures. You might don't like, you might just pass only the index if there is no any other additional directory inside your template directory, because this www, I'm gonna create it inside the template directory so that this can work. So I will just save this. I'm done with this line of code. Then the next thing here is now to go into the template directory. Now this is the template is clean. Then I will have to create that directory called www. Press my enter key, ls, I change into www, press enter key. Now this is where our HTML code is going to live. So I will be using touch because HTML is a file. Okay, it's a regular file, because everything in Linux is a file. So it's called index.html. Press enter. So that has been created. So we need to use vim to go into that. Now we start writing our HTML code. So I will be writing this very quick, because most of you already know I'm not that good in HTML, but you know, I'll do my best. Okay, all right, so doc type, if I could remember that, you know, HTML, if there's any mistake we'll come back and fix it. Oh, I'm already making mistake already. HTML, I think that is it. Why is it having that color? Okay, no problem though. Then HTML space lang equals to double quote en double quote, close this. Okay, so yeah, I will write head, enter. So in the head we are going to be adding the first title. So I will call this title dark web. All right, so because this is what we're creating, a dark website, right? Title, then we close that. So that is just pretty what I'm going to be doing this end. There are other things that will be added here, but for the simplicity's sake for this video not to be long, more than 30 minutes, it's just that we just add this. Head means a body, human being must have a head. In the head contains so many abilities and functions. So in the head here we can have some kind of behind the scene controls. All right, but for now we just leave it simple like this. So we should have the body. In the body here, this is how I like coding in HTML. I will put the header. Okay, I will close the header. Here I'll put the main. Okay, and I will close the main. Oh, sorry, it's called main. Then I will open the footer and I will close the, oh, I didn't close that, /, right? I hope this closing of tag is /. then at the end body, this HTML language body, it looks like a baby stuff to me. /HTML. Okay, I think this code is right. I pray so. So yeah, let's tap. So here I'm just gonna add an H1. This is what will be giving us to the screen. So I would like the thing to be in the center, so I will call it dark web site. Still on construction, right? Still on construction. All right, so I will just close the center and close the H1 tab. So this is it we need. This doc type, I'm not spelling, I know that something is wrong here. I'm not spelling it right. This doc should be spelled, I'm not spelling it right. I know something is wrong there. Yeah, so just fix that. So I save this. So this will give us on the internet dark website still on construction. So we save this. We're not writing CSS to this so that this video will not be very long. So I'll move 1 step backward or 2 step backward. So another ls, we are in our project. We'll move 1 step backward again. So here now is where we run our run server to see if everything works fine. So if the route connecting from the project, which is the web project, to the home page first app, then the route in the, there is the URL in the app connect to the views, then the path is using to access the Django is using the import path to access the web project. Then from the views we are accessing the templates to get to the index.html. So that's how this thing works. So we just find our Python tree to be specific, manage.py run server 9090. It's not more that we must use this port, so we can change the port. Okay, let me change it to let me say 4059, just something like that. So if I press enter, if everything works, we should have it. Yeah, wow, it's working. So we have our URL here, so we just right click that. Okay, I will just right click and open the link in the browser. So if everything works here, you might have the page. Okay, you see not secured is because of because I put this home here. So for that reason I have to come here and put /home page. So if I press enter, we should have that website on construction. Isn't it interesting, guys? So this is very awesome. So we are now starting the real project. We have added our first app, and then we have routed very well, added our template, touch the settings, URL in the project, URL in the app. Okay, create our HTML and so on. So alright guys, it's nice having you guys. Please make sure you like, share this video, and put your comment what you think about what I'm doing on the comment section. I'll be waiting for your comment. And please make sure you head over to my YouTube channel or my TikTok bio. Go to my TikTok bio, you will see you will see a YouTube link. Click it, it will take you to my YouTube channel so that you can subscribe and receive more videos. Okay, have a nice day and be blessed. Bye.